Hello and welcome to Sim Strategy Gaming. I'm Sim. This episode will be about the 13th scenario of Railway Empire 2, sitting on the fence, on the French side. This level is considered very hard, with good reason, as we have to really focus on making money as we simultaneously deal with the demanding tasks. We have a difficult start, but the map is quite flat and generous, and we will use this to our advantage. Looking at our mission objectives first, we have to grow this region and also make for an express line. The express line is not so much of a problem. I built this sort of awkward system here, but within this system, there is absolutely room for an express line here that can be sent out pretty much immediately to achieve the express status, and then later on I will delete this line as soon as the express status has been achieved, and then rather use the system for the purpose that it's built for. It is a little strange, perhaps, this system, but I tried several times. This region is very hard and narrow in many ways, even though the terrain is flat and nice. So we find ourselves a bit challenged. And then should we make for a cross here or circles? And then I found this sort of 8 wheel here that makes for one circle that sort of intersects in Eindhoven here both. Later on we will build a warehouse here to further increase transportation. And we pointed out that there isn't any meat in any of these cities, and neither any lumber accessible to us. So it's going to be really hard to grow these cities in time, and we need to grow them fast to be ready for our next tasks, which can come on quite abruptly. And then some of these resources have been left out, even this resource here, but then connection bonuses are coming in now, and then it will be easy to connect to these last resources, neglecting this fruit because we don't need fruit at this stage. The cities are still too small. Looking at tech a little bit, perhaps, there is this brilliant tech here. Creation of reserves. I really recommend this. You have to pick this one first, but this is not so bad either. But then to have the maximum amount of bonds to begin with, and to make sure that you get all the connection bonuses, very important to have lots of seed money in order to grow quickly. Later on, we might aim for this Brooks Mogul and try to save up something before this decade change, so that we are ready and can reach these faster locomotives. But still, there is a lot of nice techs way behind, which are absolutely worth checking out, and see that you get all the little goodies, particularly the ones that are cheap.
Have you read about the Ems dispatch? It is about the negotiations between Prussia and France. The Prussian king agreed to withdraw their heir, but the French also demanded that Prussia agrees to never again interfere in the succession to the Spanish throne. This demand was sharply rejected by the Prussian king. The French are outraged. War seems inevitable, and we are right in the line of fire. Luxembourg remains neutral, but as an independent company, we could try and take advantage of the situation. If only we knew which was the stronger power. I have spoken with ambassadors from both countries. They are both willing to pay us a nice sum if we help them build a rail network. But first, you have to choose a side.
Yes. So then we choose the French.
Bonjour, my name is Hélène Gérard, and I am responsible for the French rail network. My superiors think that our expansion would proceed faster with your help. You will support us with your railroads, oui? Start right away, we have no time to lose.
Hello! I have already analyzed your situation. You will file for bankruptcy soon.
We are going to war. It is outrageous that these Prussians reject us like this. They have no right to invade our neighboring countries. Now come on, quickly connect the most important areas and help supply our cities at the front.
Yes, so then we meet our competitor. Now, our mission objective is to rapidly expand. Not so often this is the mission objective, but then we're going to use the circular approach, trying to connect all these cities in the very flat region of France into a really potent money-making machine. Bringing these passengers to Strasbourg, not so much of a problem. Strasbourg is a little bit at the edge of the map, but we can very easily build something down here. We can finally get out of this tiny little region that we've been in, and then really rapidly expand all the way over here. Bringing out the tools then to France, to Paris, and then to have this, buy up this coal and iron resource, and then to build something around here. Build for a steel mill in Auxerre, and then perhaps tools in Orléans, and then be delivered to Paris. But first of all, we will have to connect all the cities together. I want to point out a little funny thing here. I said that there wasn't any meat, but Brussels is actually getting meat through the land roads over here from Lille, which are producing some meat. So one can take advantage of this when it comes to growing the cities. And of course, it's very important to get these cities growing and to have passengers and then to make money. This is how we're going to achieve the game. And immigration offices, very important. In the beginning, one should be a bit careful. It's very important to have a perfect start. This money in the beginning are much more valuable than anything else. But look now at the train usage here. It's only yellow and a little bit green. There are no red trains. And then perhaps we have too many trains on now. With 8 trains, at least this line could easily have 11, 12, 13 trains before it was starting to have delays. But now there is 0 waiting time. Could be much more trains on the track, but still we keep it a little low in order to minimize the cost and then maximize our profits. Also very important now that we had the opportunity for some loan, try to save up a little bit of money while these cities are growing, and then to be rapidly expanding and be sure to include these fantastic connection bonuses that one are getting.
Très bien, this looks very good.
Yes, so then 15 months into the game, we've been able to connect all the cities on the French side like this. This will be quite a bit more elaborate as we get more money, and not all the cities are really connected here in these mission objectives that we have to do. Delivering the tools to Paris and the weapons to Strasbourg. They have not yet come into place. We're building a new line here, going all the way up to Orléans, Paris, and picking up all the different needed resources on the way. Also opportunity to build a canned fruit factory down in Dijon. We will take advantage of that. But for now, they will have one circle here, the Reims-Dijon system. And then from Reims to Brussels, Lille, Paris, Luxembourg in one system, and then westernmost system with the Tours, Orléans, Paris, Cannes. And then we can look at the flow of goods and see that the different resources are sometimes moving through a system, and other times remaining inside. One can do this by warehouses, and it might look a bit advanced, but there is much to be gained from this, that it makes for an orderly system, and then it's either the resources either in the system or need to be imported in. And then there cannot be on both sides. If there already are a resource of that type in one system, then it cannot be transported into a system that also has the same resource. One great thing about these circles and such that we is that they don't be disturbed so easily. it's important that they can be able to go round and around like this, and then as one expands, one build a new circle. If one had this long line, you have to update these systems and the lines, and then they would lose money and have to be redeployed or be go back to start.
Thanks to your support, we were able to supply our cities faster. Alors, the Prussians are retreating. We are now to expand our network further into Prussia.
So then we managed our second set of mission objectives: the mobilization, delivering the tools to Paris, and then the weapons to Strasbourg. And then now we are going to develop the German Rhine area with first of all connecting Cologne and Cassel, and then build this line from Paris, Cologne, Hanover, which will come on quite easily, but then delivering the canned food and the weapons to Worms, 100 loads of each, that is going to take quite a bit of focus. Managed to increase our company value really fast, only a little bit more than 2 years of gameplay, and we are more than 150 millions. Money coming in really fast now. The universities and cities are growing, so we built the universities quite easily, and then to maximize our weapons production and to really focus on this. So then we are now ready to move in here, and we have the opportunity to take up a huge loan and then to buy up all of these areas. See that we built this solution here in Luxembourg, where this station is ready to be drawn further in to achieve our mission objectives
here.
here.
My sabotage all the way to my headquarters.
Yes, sabotages, they really aren't worth the money, I think. One pays here 500,000 to do some minuscule damage to one of our lines, but there are resources there. But it's not for that long, and no, I'd rather spend my money on elsewhere. And then we have this ready over here, and also ready here in Strasbourg to be moved up to Worms, and then also to Hanover, and then in the end to Frankfurt when we come to the final victory round. But in order to be producing everything that we now need, and to connect upon have Auxerre here as the steel mill, takes some time. It cannot be upgraded maximum right away because it has to grow a bit. But then keep that maximized, and to make sure that there are enough trains and that this resource over here is owned by us, and then at the same level as this factory. Made for tools in Orléans, because lumber is really close by, and everything goes to Paris. And then further on down here to Luxembourg, and are now ready to be moved in here. But also, and that will be more of a passenger line, while the more industrial line here, Paris, Orléans, Auxerre, Dijon, and Dijon will produce the canned fruits, canned vegetables, and then brought all the way to Strasbourg, and then further on to Worms. But notice now that there is still demand for canned fruit, and I think also weapons in Strasbourg, and we are not required to deliver anymore. So Strasbourg will now eat it up along the way. So then to make for this special delivery line here, have 4 lines in parallel, 4 tracks in parallel, so then one can have two lines, and make sure that one now really control this one, make sure that it's not continuing its delivery to Strasbourg, and that it's also only carrying freight, so that it's not ever filled up with passengers, so they can pick up any order of freight. Might not be that profitable, but still now we're making so much money that we're much more concerned about completing our mission objectives fast. And then in addition to having Now, first of all, the circles that we started out, and then in addition to having this industrial line here, and then the soon to become passenger line and moving into Germany line here, then we built for all these crosses in the middle of the circles to expand upon traffic capabilities, but then also to make for new extra connections. And then they will be having a hotel in the middle and be double these lines. All of the systems are now consisting of two sets of trains, one passenger and one mixed. And then the mixed train can be turned into a freight line if I'm particularly concerned with growing cities or having some special deliveries. Other times it might be so that one goes in particularly on the cities to make sure that they have a special delivery line.
We have them on the ropes. Now even the stubborn Prussians will have to admit defeat. Victory! Vive la France! They have surrendered. We should celebrate our triumph with a magnificent military parade in Frankfurt to let the Prussians see how great France truly is. Go on! A victory is not a victory without a proper parade.
Yes, so then we only have the parade left. That is not so difficult. Just bringing this 1,000 passengers might sound like a lot, but there come a lot of passengers in each wagon. So that's actually much simpler than to be delivering this load of canned fruits and weapons. And buying up Walter's company, we have more than enough money for that.
That's what winners look like. And I don't just mean the French. We are leaving the party with something much more valuable, an efficient rail network from Paris to Frankfurt.
It was important to have this special delivery line here. And you can see that now this line that goes all the way through Worms, this one is the Ulm line. It doesn't go through Strasbourg at all. And this was one of the important things that I sort of had to learn, that this line here had to skip Strasbourg, or else all the weapons and the canned fruit here along the line would be delivered into Strasbourg, and that would ruin the mission objective. And to have these special deliveries coming in fast, not just a little bit one at a time, but really coming in straight, that's very important, or else you would be stuck on this map, becoming richer and richer, building more and more fantastic industry and universities all over, which might be fun, but then it can also be very overwhelming after some time. The systems becoming more and more challenging, going into each other, then to have this checking the flow of goods, make sure that it bounces from one system to each other and never to be interflicted. Built for these systems here, one big circle going Luxembourg, Strasbourg, Worms, Nancy. A little extra attachment here down to Ulm. Must be very careful with that now that we don't do anything wrong with the flow. Say with lumber cannot be let out. A new giant
If
circle
no one else bids,
from
it's easy to win.
Luxembourg, Cologne, Gottesloh, Hanover, Bremen, Eindhoven. Here, one big one might be a bit too big, but then we had our competitor here, and he was in the way. But then at some point he went away. So then it was easy to build there. But then when we entered into the German regions, it was easier to build this long oval-shaped circle, Cologne Eindhoven, and then to have this long line extended from the system that we already built, going through Luxembourg, Cologne, Gottersloh, Hanover, in order to complete that, but also in order to bring weapons and to start up our enemies, our competitors' weapon factory here, push that up to the max. And then having iron industry in Luxembourg as well, as together with the canned fruit, and then to push on extra to bring down both weapons and canned fruit. Particularly the canned fruit can sometimes be problematic, because weapons are going only to the destinations where it's needed. Not hardly everybody needs weapons, but canned fruit can be easily eaten up along the way.
The French have only emerged victorious thanks to you. Fulfill this last task, and then you can fully devote yourself to your own designs again.
Now come on, come with me. You will, of course, be the guest of honor at our victory celebration.
Well done! You emerge as the real winner. Your railroad network now extends over large parts of France all the way to Prussia.
So then we made it with a really great score. We haven't really completed all our optional tasks either. To produce this 1,000 weapons is a bit challenging, takes a bit of time. So, but this is very nice, and it goes to show that concentrating on making money through circle building and then add upon the circles more and more and more to make the most money out of a region and to really get all the cities growing natural from being members of these systems, and then to be fed by other systems where needed is quite rewarding when it comes to making money. This might be something wrong here again. It's super important to go around and check all these warehouses and systems and see if there are anything wrong. Particularly often with the milk, say fruit and vegetables. Check on this, see how it moves from one system to another. Since last we only extended this, there used to be 4 tracks going out from this Western Luxembourg station, but now there are 8. Extended this line, built for this nice tunnel underneath there, kind of cool. It was really difficult now, it turned more and more messy. I usually never build these extra lines like this, but then sometimes it's hard to build these tunnels. There come this warning that tracks are not allowed to be built. So then one can make for this several lanes like this. But that's of course much more expensive. But at this point, money is not a big problem. Bought up an enormous amount of industries while we were waiting for all these missions objectives to be fulfilled. And then that makes our cities grow more and more. Sometimes, like here, one has to connect upon an extra resource, buy this up, and then coal is already coming in, so there are some extra spare coal coming into Cassel as well. At this point, I pretty much bump them all up to level 5, making sure that everybody has enough. But then looking at our budget, we can see that well, we are making good money now on production, but then we still have only 63%, 2/3 capacity utilization. And that pulls our production money way down because we have to pay for unused production capacity. Then warehouses are usually mostly used for the basic goods. But then as more advanced resources become much more available, and then there might be systems without some needed advanced resources, like here with Khan, for example.
Lucky you. The blackmailer tried to turn their threat into reality, but was caught in time by your security personnel.
It was one of those special delivery lines that I wanted to add particularly in order to bring down the canned fruit. I think I also built one particularly dedicated here. Then they get in the way. I might have deleted it, but they get in the way of the, say, ordinary traffic. But then to achieve the mission objectives is most important. But first of all, one perhaps should build up a strong, really strong economy, particularly on this map. And then later on, as soon as all cities are connected with a proper 4-lane track, then and to focus very much on the mission objectives, and particularly this line here, say for example, that goes through Orléans, Auxerre, Gien, and then down here and brings all the weapons in, and then this one from Paris, which is now going both over the mountains, north of the mountains, Reims, Cologne, but also one alternative underneath through Luxembourg. Both coming up like this. Looking at our budget, we see that we are now making an absolute killing and just exploding. Might actually be a little bit boring almost at the end of the game. It's a lot of things to do with this industry and to build it up, but you get so much money. Things that were ridiculously expensive in the beginning is now nothing. I can buy up whatever I choose, which is of course nice, but then it's a challenge to bring all these resources around. But for me at least, I think it's more fun to be building the systems, laying the rails, and then as soon as that is done, to just really focus a lot on making the objectives, bringing in the goods, and then to end the game early and to have a nice, great score. Well, I guess that pretty much sums it all up, and then one can feel free to like and subscribe, leave some comments, and then I hope to see you later, and goodbye.